Do you ever feel like you're backpedaling even though you're following the rules? You work long hours, tolerate your boss, you get an annual raise, and you try to save money and budget wherever you can.
Clearly, you're working the known system for financial success, but something is very wrong.
The rules are not working. The system is broken down.
You're barely making ends meet, let alone getting ahead.
And retirement? Forget it. You're living day by day. You want to build financial security and wealth, but it's just not happening.
So where exactly has playing by the rules gotten you?
If you can change your outlook, change some of your values, and change your rules, you'll find there's a whole other set of rules out there that are more conducive for people who want to be rich.
Financial expert, educator, successful investor, and best-selling author Robert Kiyosaki is about to give you the information you need to implement a realistic, achievable plan of building and growing wealth.
Kiyosaki is the New York Times best-selling author of, among other books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
To date, the series has sold 20 million plus copies worldwide. Today, Kiyosaki shares his revolutionary wisdom with you, just as his rich dad shared it with him.
It's information that can take you from working for money to your money working for you.
Information that can set you free.
The story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is really a story of two different fathers with two different sets of values and completely different sets of advice. So I don't mean to insult anybody or, to damage your values, but really that was the difference. For example, my poor dad always said, go to school, get good grades, get a high-paying job, work hard, live below your means, save money, get out of debt, have a good retirement plan. And that was my poor dad's values. My rich dad said, you probably won't get rich doing that way because very few people get rich following that plan. If you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense. Again, it was different values. An important diagram my rich dad showed me when I was a little boy was a diagram known as a cash flow quadrant. And the quadrant is made up of the four different people who make up the world of business. So my rich dad said, in the world of business, there's E's. And E's stand for employees. An employee, he says, you can always tell who they are by their core values. And what the employee, whether the president or the janitor of a company, will always say the same words. The words are, I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. That's what makes them an employee, because their core values are security. The other one of the four is the S, or the small business owner or the self-employed. And again, their core values will cause them to use the same words, which are, if you want it done right, do it by yourself. S means they're also solo. They're generally one-person act, or they operate by themselves. On the right side of the quadrant are the B's. And what Rich Dad said the B stood for was big business, or like Bill Gates. Forbes defines big business as 500 employees or more. And their words are different. They say, I'm looking for a good system, a good network, and the smartest people I know to help run my business. So they're unlike the S. They don't want to run the company by themselves. They want smart people to run their companies for them. And then the fourth of the quadrant is the I, and I stands for investor. These are people who have money work hard for them. These people are people who have people work hard for them. And these are the people that work hard for the rich here. So early on in my life, it was my poor dad who always said to me, Robert, go to school and get a high-paying job. And so my poor dad's core value was to be an employee. He wanted job security, promotions, a steady paycheck, and all this. And so it was my rich dad who said to me, he says, Robert, if you really want to be rich, learn to build businesses. It made more sense to him to work hard to build a business, something you owned, and something you could pass on for generation to generation to your kids. Whereas my poor dad said work hard, but my rich dad said, why would you work hard for something you'll never own and you can get fired from right away? Again, that was a difference in values. So my rich dad suggested I learn how to be a business owner and learn how to be an investor. And that's one of the big differences. On this side of the quadrant, these people here work for security. They work for money also. On this side over here, their key value that they want is they want freedom. They don't want to have to work at a job anymore. They don't want to have to work for the rest of their lives. So the beauty of building a business and learning how to invest is very simply that this is passive income. You work hard for a few years, but possibly for the rest of your life, income keeps flowing to you. One of the reasons I consider a direct selling business a perfect business is very simply because the company will work with you to get the business skills that make you rich. Always remember that it's not money that makes you rich, it's business skills. And that's why it's a perfect business. They'll take as long as you like to get the skills to make the money. And that's a lifetime skill thing. The other part about it is the low startup costs. Where else can you get in for under $500 and get these skills? For people who want to make the shift over to the B quadrant, which is what I would recommend for people, one of the beauties of a network marketing company is that you can do that for a very low price. And that's why I talk to people about considering network marketing. If you're to build a Microsoft, it would take you hundreds of millions of dollars. But a network marketing company allows you to start at a very low rate. They'll be patient with you. They'll take their time to transition over here. And the reason why that time is so important to most people is it takes time to change those values. And the most important thing is once you take the time, let's say it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever time it takes, once you see the value or the core values of this side and this side, you're unstoppable. Today, I would never go back and get a job. Why should I? I'd rather stay on this side, build companies, pay less taxes, and make more money. But the key is a person needs to change the values from my poor dad to the values of my rich dad. And that's one of the beauties of network marketing companies. They allow you the time, and at very low cost, they'll work with you to make that transition over there. The number one asset a person can build is build a business. That is the smartest thing you can do. Years ago, I decided not to follow the corporate ladder simply because, again, it was values. My poor dad always said, go to school and get a high-paying job with the government or a big corporation. But my rich dad said, why would you work so hard at something you'll never own? You can't sell your job. You can't pass it on to your kids. So to me, it never made any sense. It made more sense to build my own business and hire other people. The other reason is that you really don't have much control if you're in the corporate ladder world. For example, you can get fired at any time. Or today we have what's called M&As, or mergers and acquisitions, where another company buys another company. So you could be a great employee, but the company that buys your company just fires you. Not a get-rich-quick formula. You don't just do it overnight. It takes time. I still remember the first time I made that transition was back in 1978 when I fully quit my job and I had to depend upon my company that I was building to support me. So I understand the fear. The beauty. The most important thing to remember is this. There's two kinds of people in the world. There are the types that will say, you'll never make it. And I had a lot of people, a lot of friends and family saying that. You're stupid. Don't do it. And the second type were the people that said, go for it. You can do it. Don't worry about it. We'll cover you. So the most important thing is support of friends and family. One of the beauties of a direct selling company is that they provide that personal support to you for as long as it takes you to make the journey from the left side to my rich dad side. One of the challenges of being self-employed is that you're your own boss. You're the solo act. Like in the S quadrant, you're the individual. You do it on your own. Whereas in the B quadrant, you're a team player. You have to depend upon your team and count on your team. So the problem with being an S is that, let's say you're in a traffic accident, there goes your income. And let's say you get older and you haven't set enough money aside to retire on, that means you'll probably have to work for the rest of your life because you don't have anybody else to fall back on, not a team to count on. So one of the problems with the S, although most people say it's the most satisfying of all work, it is a solo act and you're totally on your own. Personally, I'd rather be a member of a team if they can count on me and I can count on them. We all know the world has changed, but sometimes the hardest thing to change is ourselves. And being an old guy, I sort of know the older I get, I sometimes get more set in my ways. And I think that's one of the things that a direct selling business offers people, why it's the perfect business. They allow you to take your time to make the mental, emotional, and physical changes required to move from the left side to the rich dad side. And I think that's a big thing. It's a very gracious, it's a very elegant way, it's a patient way of supporting you in making the changes of your life. So please remember, change always creates upset, but sometimes we all know we have to make those changes. And if you know it's time for you to make that change, then the perfect business may be a direct selling business for you.
Some call it the business of the 21st century. Many call it the recession-proof business. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett called it simply the best investment I ever made. It's an industry that has grown steadily for the past 20 years, jumping over 91% in just the past 10. An industry that enjoys annual sales of over $30 billion in the U.S. and over $100 billion worldwide. An industry called direct selling. And for the 13 million Americans and 55 million people worldwide who are part of it today, business is booming. Why is business booming? There are 4 reasons. Word-of-mouth advertising, the home-based business boom, low risk, high return, and no experience required. As citizens of the information age, we're constantly bombarded by messages, TV, print, billboards, banner ads. The reality is that we just don't trust the media overload anymore. But we do still trust the personal recommendations of our friends and family. It's a simple fact of human nature every Hollywood producer knows well. Nothing sells better than a friend's recommendation. Call it referral marketing, word of mouth, one-to-one. Whatever you call it, it's big business, and it's what's driving direct selling. Instead of paying millions for traditional advertising, direct selling companies pay the people who use, love, and enthusiastically talk about their products and services. These person-to-person recommendations might take place at work, in a coffee shop, on the phone, on the internet, or anywhere. Legendary management expert and best-selling author Tom Peters calls direct selling the first truly revolutionary shift in marketing. A generation ago, the safest path to financial success was to go to school and get a good job with a good company. Going into business for yourself was risky. Today, it's just the opposite. Today, more than 1 out of every 8 U.S. households contains a home-based business. According to world-renowned economist Paul Zane-Pilzer, we're in the midst of a boom in home-based businesses, and it shows no sign of slowing. And working from home means no more commute and no more boss. You get to choose when you work, how you work, and with whom you work. You know, it used to be the only way to secure a pension and good health care coverage was to work as a company employee. Not anymore. Home-based business is not the wave of the future. It's the wave of the present. As a recent Fortune magazine cover story put it, forget the paycheck. Your W-2 days are over. It's a 1099 world now. In fact, recent changes in U.S. tax law have leveled the playing field, giving home-based entrepreneurs the same kind of tax-deferred savings and benefits as corporate employees. What's more, having a home-based business allows you to claim substantial deductions. That can mean significant savings to you. Creating your own business from scratch can be expensive and risky, but not with direct selling. Why? Because the typical direct selling company provides you with all the tools, systems, and training you need to be up and profitable almost immediately, and with low startup costs.
may Singapore experience is really... Grabe, grabe. All you have to do is join Vital C. Okay, grabe. Promise, you'll join us, ha?
First time namin mag-Singapore. Libre yan sa Vital C. Kaya mag-Vital C na kayo!
Dito na kami ngayon sa airport. Papunta kami ng Singapore. Grabe. Ito yung first time kong lumabas.
Hong Kong, Macau, Thailand. At ito na ngayon yung panglima ng Singapore. Grabe! Ito na! Singapore na naman! Kaya hataw na naman kami! At taonan to, tradisyon ng mga taga-Vital C.
Dito lang sa Vital C for 1 year. Nakapunta ako ng Singapore. Grabe! Power!
Ang ganda talaga ng Singapore. Grabe ang Vital C. Grabe, Vital C power! Vital C power. Lord, where are you from? Manila, right? Grabe, Vital C! Grabe, ticket namin papuntang Macau. Grabe to. Macau delegates yan, oh. Ngayon ang flight namin. Kaya, hataw sa Vital C lang yan.
Hi! Kami, 4 na buwan na. Qualifier for Macau.
Power!
Blow from caving in. Do you ever feel already buried deep? 6 feet under sea.
Dito, Macau! Yes!
Wala ng Vital C.
She's blood, flesh and bone, no sight, taste and sound. But somehow I can't believe that anything should happen. I know where I belong, and nothing's gonna happen, yeah. Why should I even bother? 'Cause she's so high.
agency, papasok na kami sa 40.
Grabe, grabe. Oh, mami. Ito. Yan, sasakay lahat sila dyan, mamaya, oh. Yan, si Doktora.
Tuwad!
Sa Crown Regency Cebu. Alam nyo, nakikita nyo yan, oh, East Coaster. Yan, nagpakaganda. Kasama ko ngayon ang buong pamilya. Yan, mamaya, sasakay kami ng zipline. Tapos, grabe. Mamaya, sasakay kami ng skywalk.
And of course, the back check will be awarded by the Executive Vice President and the Chairman and President of YYC, Mr. Richard King. Magkano kaya? Naku, eto. Okay. Ayan, dito. Gusto ko masahin. Ayan, eto na. 005990801 1,080,000 pesos.
Ito napakaganda at ganoon din sa kitaan. Kumita na rin ako dito ng 1 million pesos at members na rin ako ng Millionaires Club. Ang maganda dito, napaka-supportive ang ating upline na walang iba kundi si Art at saka si Cesar. Kaya join na kayo pa!
Ako si Dr. Filipina Pascual ng Rojas Isabela, isang may-ari ng hospital sa Rojas Isabela, an exclusive product center ng Vital C Health Product sa Cagayan. Join kayo sa Vital C. Maganda ang produkto, maganda ang kitaan. Kumita na rin ako ng higit na 1 milyon. At ang pinaka maganda, very supportive ang ating mga upline, gaya ni Mr. Cesar Barela. Kaya join na!
Morning! I'm Dr. Eden Wiso here. Taga Rojas Isabela po ako at ako Medical Director and owner of the Soldier General Hospital. Nandito po ako ngayon sa Boracay enjoying the fruits of my partnership with Vital C. I've been using personally and prescribing Vital C for the past 2 years. Member na po ako ng Vital C for the past 2 years and I tell you maganda po ang gamot. And aside from the benefits of a good medicine, eto ako ngayon nag-enjoy sa Boracay, enjoying the incentives that the company is giving me. Ang sarap maging member ng Vital C kasi nakakatulong ka na sa kapwa mo at nakakatulong ka rin sa sarili mo. So come, join our company.
Ito kami ngayon sa Crown Regency Boracay. First time in my life, grabe nakarating ako dito sa Boracay. Ang tagal-tagal ko nang gusto makarating. Ngayon lang saya-saya, grabe. Thank you kay Power Sensor, grabe. So talaga wala akong masabi, speechless ako.
Good morning! Ako si Art Disperos ng Kawayan City, Isabela. Pioneer dealer ng lugar na yan. At napakaganda. At nandito ako sa Boracay ngayon. At naka-check-in pa kami sa first class hotel na may-ari rin ng Vital C. Walang iba kundi si Mr. Richard King. So it's a great privilege to be here with the Vital C family. At ang saya-saya namin dito. At ito yung nakita kong walang katulad sa ibang kumpanya na aking napuntahan noon at napasukan. At kakaiba talaga. I really experienced the big difference here in Vital C.
Vital C! Andito kami ngayon sa Crown Regency Resort and Convention Center sa Boracay. Grabe, napakaganda dito. May tsunami pool pa. At napakasaya dahil kasama ko ang buong pamilya! Bigayan ng Vital C. Travel incentive to. All expenses paid by Vital C. Grabe, nakakapagbakasyon ka na kasama ang pamilya mo, may global business ka pa. Kaya join us!
Isabela, Vizcaya, Cagayan, and especially sa malayong lugar na Dubai. Sana po ay takilikin po natin ang ating produkto na Vital C. At sa lahat po na hindi pa nakaka-try ng aming vitamins, please try it and you'll see the result. Talagang maganda po sa ating katawan. And of course, kung kailangan niyo po ng tulong para po maging member ng Vital C, maging po kalimutan si Mr. Cesar Barela at siya po ang bahala sa atin. Thank you!
Thank you, ma'am. Ang ganda Kamusta? Nandito kami ngayon sa Crown Regency. Travel incentive po ng Vital C Health Products Corporation. Kasama ko ngayon si Ma'am Isabel Granada. Grabe, masaya ang buong grupo. Kung kayo dyan, nasa province, Isabela, Cagayan, Vizcaya, Nueva Ecija, alam nyo, ang you have to do, mag-join po kayo sa Vital C para sa mga pangarap natin matutupad. Power. You want to avoid the storm, and you want to avoid that slide. We're just going to make sure we're going to straight and center. Right.
Ay, Bane, Bane!
Saya-saya! Saya-saya!
Why?
Grabe ang Vital C, napakasaya ang grupo. Nandito kami ngayon sa Crown Regency Resort and Convention Center. Kung saan itong hotel lang ang mayroong ganitong pinamit. Napakalaki na biggest
Sa mga group ni Cesar, I'd like to welcome you to unang-una to Vital C and pangalawa to Boracay. And if you look around, dito nag-stay yung team ni Cesar. So hopefully, sa susunod na biyahe naman, kayo naman yun nandito. Ang susunod na biyahe ay sa Dubai at malalaman ninyo kay Cesar kung ano yung mga mechanics para sa Dubai. And I'm sure kahit may mga bagong sali, kaya talaga ninyo ma-achieve. Ang Vital C, kung mapapansin ninyo, ang dami-daming hotel na property ni Richard King. So isa to sa mga malaking MLM sa Pilipinas right now, and nag-uumpisa na siyang maging global. So if I were work hard, aralin niyo yung negosyo, and then kung ano yung game plan na ibibigay sa inyo ni Cesar, ni Coach Cesar ninyo, sundan lang ninyo. And kung nasaan ka man, whether you're in Isabela, whether you're in Cagayan,